All right, let's jump right into this explainer and completely demystify how to manage your money like the top 1%. We are going to look at an incredibly simple system that actually works, whether you're bringing in $10,000 or $1,000,000 a year. It's called the 75-10-15 rule. It's this highly adaptable, structured approach that doesn't just tell you to blindly save your money, but shows you exactly where every single dollar needs to go to basically guarantee your financial freedom.
But first, think about this terrifying reality for a second. 56% of Americans literally cannot afford an unexpected $1,000 expense. Over half the country is walking a financial tightrope right now, where just one bad day, a broken furnace, a random medical bill, or a surprise car repair could send them into an absolute spiral of crippling debt.
Now contrast that panic with how actual millionaires handle their money. There was this dinner party with a group of incredibly successful entrepreneurs. And when they went out to eat, they didn't just flash their cash or blindly throw a card down to cover the check. Instead, they actively hunted for happy hour specials. And when the bill finally came, they literally mathematically divided it down to the exact penny so everyone paid precisely for what they had consumed. I know, it sounds super intense, right? But it proves a really profound point. Keeping your wealth requires supreme intentionality. It's about systems, not just a high salary.
And to achieve that level of intentionality, we're going to use this simple 3-step blueprint. 1. Limit spending to 75%. 2. Build a 10% cushion. And 3. Invest 15% in assets.
Okay, so step 1. Limit spending to 75%.
What this means is that for every dollar you earn, a maximum of 75 cents should go toward your actual lifestyle. So housing, food, vacations, whatever else you want. This ceiling is absolutely crucial because it gives you absolute flexibility today while still safeguarding your future. It forces you to find cheaper alternatives, like, say, shopping at Aldi instead of Whole Foods. But more importantly, it forces you to focus entirely on value. We're always taught to aggressively penny pinch and to feel guilty about buying things we actually enjoy, but honestly, that's just the wrong mindset.
For example, if a daily $5 iced coffee genuinely makes you productive, social, and happy, buy it. The value it brings far exceeds the cost. Instead, you need to cut the bloated expenses. Stop wasting money on a massive $70,000 car or some 100-inch television. Because once that honeymoon phase wears off, it's just a regular car, right? But you're still stuck with years of massive financial burden. So fund your high-value joy and ruthlessly cut the rest.
Moving right along to step 2. Build a 10% cushion.
You need to consistently set aside 10% of your income for a cushion fund. And this is specifically reserved for when life goes completely off the rails. Picture this. You get into a brutal car accident in a completely different state, and you're staring down a $15,000 repair bill. Without a safety net, you'd be forced into high-interest, predatory debt that could literally ruin you financially for years. But when you have this cushion, that massive crisis just becomes a temporary inconvenience.
So, how do we find your exact target number? It's super simple. Open up a spreadsheet, tally up every single thing you spend just to survive in a single month, rent, groceries, basic bills, and multiply that total by 5. So, if your bare bones expenses are $2,000 a month, multiplying by 5 gives you a $10,000 cushion. Boom, you now have a rock-solid 5-month runway if you were to somehow lose your job tomorrow.
But here is the kicker. Once you have that money, please do not leave it sitting in a traditional bank like Chase or Bank of America. You want to put it in a high-yield savings account, or HYSA. It's completely liquid, meaning you can access your cash anytime. But instead of acting like a dead vault, an HYSA actually puts your money on a treadmill to earn you passive income.
Just look at the sheer mathematical difference here. Big, traditional banks are practically paying you 0 for the privilege of holding your money. They offer a pathetic 0.5%. Meanwhile, high-yield accounts are routinely offering around 4%. To put that into perspective, let's say you park $10,000 for a year. A regular bank pays you a measly $57 for that. An HYSA, that hands you $400 in interest. You are literally leaving hundreds of dollars of free, effortless money on the table every single year if you ignore this step.
Which brings us to our final step. Step 3, invest 15% in assets.
So, once your 5 months cushion is completely full, you actually stop saving that 10%. You redirect it, add a bit more to it, and invest a total of 15% of your income into assets. Books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad hit the nail on the head with this harsh truth. School trains you to work for money. But if you only ever trade your physical time for a paycheck, you are going to have to work until the day you die.
True wealth is built by owning assets that pay you while you sleep. And the best way to buy these assets is using tax-advantaged accounts, starting with the Roth IRA. Think of a Roth IRA kind of like paying a toll before you get on the highway. You put in money that you've already paid taxes on, you buy your investments, and then you get to ride free forever. Because you already paid the government on the way in, they legally cannot touch a single cent of the profits you make when you pull that money out in retirement.
If you want to see how crazy this gets, look at Peter Thiel. He used a Roth IRA to grow his account to $5 billion. And because of the legal structure of the account we just talked about, he won't pay a single cent in taxes when he withdraws it. All of that immense, mind-boggling growth is entirely shielded. That is exactly how the 1% leverage the system to keep their wealth intact.
Now, the second account to look at is the 401k. This one allows you to invest pre-tax money right out of your paycheck, which lowers your taxable income today. But the real magic here, and honestly the greatest wealth-building hack available, is the employer match.
Let's break down the math. Say you make $65,000 a year, and you contribute 5%. That's $3,250. Your employer might match that. That means they immediately hand you $2,600 of free money, no questions asked. So you walk away with nearly $6,000 invested for the year. Listen, if your company offers a match and you aren't taking it, you are actively refusing part of your own salary.
Now, inside these accounts, you don't have to be some Wall Street genius picking the perfect stocks. You can simply purchase index funds. By buying just one share of an index fund, you instantly own a tiny piece of Apple, Amazon, Google, and hundreds of other top companies. It automatically diversifies your risk and gives you an expected average return of around 8% a year, literally with zero daily maintenance.
To truly understand why the wealthy prioritize this, check out how this compounds over time. Investing just $100 a month at a 10% return explodes into a $1.4 million portfolio over 50 years. Seriously, even though you only contributed $60,000 out of your own pocket. That is the sheer miracle of compounding interest. Your money makes money, and then that new money makes even more money.
The math is completely in your favor. So really, the only question left to answer is this: will you keep trading the irreplaceable hours of your life for a paycheck? Or are you going to implement the 75-10-15 rule today, build your assets, and force your money to finally start working for you?